How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Huge news as OKC agreed to trade Russell Westbrook to the Houston Rockets for Chris Paul, first round picks in 2024 and 2026, pick swaps in 2021 and 2025. And a shocking result nobody could have expected. Russ will reunite with his former OKC teammate James Harden. Two of the last three MVP winners will join forces. In a desperation attempt to try to chase a title, everybody knew Daryl Morey wouldn't stay quiet the whole offseason. Now the Rockets will be one of the most intriguing teams in the entire NBA. In less than a week span, OKC traded away Paul George and Russell Westbrook and are in rebuild mode. An excellent choice by the Thunder and getting more future draft picks piling up when no other good free agents were made available that could have helped the Rockets get better. While Russ and Harden are both known to collapse in the playoffs, this is an absolutely awful move for the Houston Rockets. Having two of the most ball-dominant players on the same team, both love to bring the ball up, milk the shot clock, and play isolation style, it will be very difficult for both players to be satisfied with one of them not having their ball in their hands. Even though they're close friends, both haven't played together in over 6 years, and at the time, Harden was 22 years old, wasn't an all-star yet, coming off the bench, Russ was 23, and now Harden's clearly the better player without question in all aspects offensively. This makes absolutely no sense. While Westbrook is a terrible three-point shooter and CP3 is a way better knockdown shooter, he'll be breaking a lot of threes. At least Chris Paul plays a more traditional style, and doing so giving up his floor general skills for the better of the Rockets over the last 2 seasons. While Russ and Harden creates for teammates, they both dribble a lot. It will be absolutely intriguing to see how this is going to work. Unless Russ brings up the ball and penetrates most of the offense, while Harden is the guy who's the better off-ball player and a way better shooter than Westbrook. With both guys having two of the highest usage rates amongst all players over the last 3 seasons, Harden at 36.9%, Westbrook at 35.6%. Westbrook also doesn't make the team better defensively. Both these guys are talented enough to continue winning games, where Houston will likely win 50+, but it will be very hard for both of them to change their game even slightly a little bit, when Harden's been the focal point of the offense ever since the 2012-2013 season after signing with the Rockets, with Westbrook playing for stats over the last couple seasons, chasing every rebound, playing his way. Unless him and Harden communicate and have something up their sleeves, with both of them having to share the ball, I believe it's Westbrook and his ego that needs to take a step back at the end of games. D'Antoni should allow him to control the offense in the first 3 quarters, bringing the ball up most of the time, but when the game's on the line, Harden has to be the guy making the plays down the stretch, who's a way better shooter than Russ, can knock it down from 30 feet, will be 30 years old, Russ will be 31, and given Westbrook's injury in the past, his athleticism took a step back this past season, and going from an 80+% free throw shooter to a pathetic 66% last year, Russ was showing signs of slowing down. While Harden's still in the prime of his career, at the end of the day, this is James Harden's team. When it comes to the last shot, the ball absolutely needs to be in Harden's hands without question. With Mike D'Antoni having a lot to figure out, both guys on the team needs to be on the same page, corroborate, and play within the system alongside their teammates, where veterans like PJ Tucker will need to be the peacemaker, getting everybody together in the locker room when times gets frustrating after loses in close games due to poor execution and stupid shot selections amongst the two. No question the two will have some heated moments during the season, both being Super Bowl dominant, but they simply got to humble up, trying to win a championship, trying to utilize what's best for everybody, and not worry whether they will have a triple-double or one of the stars scores 45 and the other only has 12 points. With their lack of championship experience, I don't see the Rockets being that much better with Russ than having Chris Paul. Due to Golden State's discipline, poise, and composure, even though Westbrook and Harden are more talented than Steph and Clay, I still rather take the Splash Brothers in a 7-game series over the Rockets because of their chemistry. Houston's gotta be able to sacrifice for one another, commit more on defense like never before to be successful. While CP3 seems to be the perfect floor general, he's losing a lot of stock in the NBA, will still be paid a whooping $134 million over the next 3 seasons. I won't be shocked if he doesn't play a single game for OKC. Point guards like Drew Holiday and Mike Conley would fit 10 times better with Harden than with Westbrook, even though Russ is more talented. Other ball-dominant players who failed to work in the past like Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony. Now the pressure is on both stars in trying to win, having a reputation of failing in the playoffs and not being the best teammates. Harden and Dwight Howard didn't get along, which wasn't a surprise since Dwight complains a lot, ran him out of town, and it was clear Harden and CP3 didn't click as well as they liked. A huge disappointment for the twilight years of Chris Paul's career. KD obviously didn't want to play with Russ. Even PG didn't even think twice about taking his talents to LA, teaming up with Kawhi Leonard, leaving his buddy Russell Westbrook behind. When the game slows down in the postseason, the Rockets will show a lot of weaknesses, trying to outscore their opponents based on athleticism and skill. It works in the regular season to some extent, but against a team like the Clippers, Houston will absolutely get exposed. I see the Rockets being a 4 or 5 seed, having their struggles to work things out early, but when they play a serious contender like LA or Denver, relying too much on star power and a lack of team chemistry, it's most important for everybody to get involved. Instead of going 2-on-5 offensively, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn, Houston will fall in the second round, which is my early prediction. If Houston never ends up winning a championship with Harden and Westbrook, the team that really screwed them was the Los Angeles Clippers, snatching Lou Williams, Pat Bev, and Montrezl Harrell, good role players, in exchange for CP3, which turned out to be Russell Westbrook. If any team was to trade Lou Will, Pat Bev, and Harrell for Russ, you absolutely don't do that. So I predict the Clippers will be the team to give the Rockets the biggest problems in the Western Conference. Unless there are some big injuries from other contenders in the Western Conference, the Rockets have a slight chance at making the finals, a very slight chance, highly unlikely. And having Mike D'Antoni, who's a terrible defensive coach, will hurt deep in the postseason. I won't be shocked if D'Antoni gets fired within the year if the team chemistry fails. Those were my quick reactions on the Russell Westbrook trade. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love all of you. See you next time.